We are delighted to have with us this afternoon two representatives from the Christiania community here in Copenhagen. Unfortunately, as announced, Knud Folchak, the lawyer, is not able to be here for this briefing, but his office has said that if any of you would like to try to get hold of him before Saturday, that's possible too. As you know, on Saturday, a so-called Day of Action has been announced at Christiania, where the plan is, as far as we understand, to start physically digging up Pusher Street. So hopefully we'll hear a little bit more about those plans at the briefing here. But also at the same time, I think it's worth mentioning that at Christiania, not looking specifically at Pusher Street, there are also many initiatives getting underway this year, not least in terms of moving forward with new housing plans. So I hope we will also be able to cover some of that in the briefing today. In a minute, I'll introduce our two speakers, and then afterwards we'll go to a Q&A, as we normally do here, where we'll try to take some questions from the room and also invite the people who are with us on Zoom to post questions in the chat, and then we'll take it from there. And we've said that we would continue until about 1:30, so let's see how it goes with the questions. But without any more words from me, I'll say welcome again to you. Hulda Mader, you are at the press group at Christiania.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
And also Mette Prag, you are in the Fristaden Christiania Foundation,
Yes.
but you're also heavily involved in some of the housing initiatives, as far as I understand, at Christiania. So without further ado, I think you can just maybe say a few more words about yourself as an introduction, and then we'll go to the questions. And I'll try to keep track of who's asking what, and also if people could be kind to introduce themselves, if they get a question in, that would be helpful. But again, warm welcome.
Yes, maybe I can start. Now I have the mic. You have the mic already. Yeah, shortly I'm a Christianite like Hulda for many years. I lived there for 37 years. And as a Christianite, Christiania needs people to be involved. So Hulda and we are very involved in a lot of things, and especially the last 15 years in the negotiation with the government and try to find a solution for the future of Christiania. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've been living in Christiania for 40 years, and I have been part of the negotiation with the government from 1991, where we started the first kind of trying to become a bit legalized. Not normalized, but legalized. That's different for us. And I've been in all the groups since then. Every negotiation I've been sitting in the foundation as well for about 10 years. So we just have to struggle on and try to find a way through all this for people in Christiania, because it's very important for us. And I think for Denmark that Christiania keeps being Christiania and not some kind of a communal project. We don't want to do that.
Yes.
Good, thanks.
Please.
So I think we'll just open up for questions. So if there's anybody here in the room. Yeah, I see Jan.
Yeah, yes, was it first. Let me start. As I understand it, you have been more or less thrown into the arms of the Danish authorities. To start with, Christiania was opposed to authorities, and now you have to cooperate with authorities. How do you feel about that?
Can I answer that? First of all, I think it's a bit wrong. We haven't been opposed to the government, and we've been in negotiation with the government actually since 1974, where we made the first agreement to stay in Christiania and keep staying there. So we have not been in opposition. We have not been agreeing with them a lot, but that's not the same. But now they really want. They have been very proactive this last year. So that's very nice. Very nice for us to have a nice and welcoming government and police and commune. Because this is the problem with the whole thing is the problem with the gangsters. So we don't want the gangsters and we don't want the violence anymore.
I think since we had the foundation in 2012, we have rebooted, you could say, the organization around Christiania. And this that we have the ownership of the Christiania, we have started a new development of Christiania. So I think the last years, all the negotiation has achieved something, and now we are in a new area, you could say. Yeah.
I'm with AFP. You're saying that it's a new Christiania, but it's a new chapter for Free City. What is going to be in this new chapter? How can you describe Christiania today, or more precisely after Saturday?
Okay, it's not like a new Christiania. It's just like it's a new Christiania without the criminal hash market. We don't want the criminal to take over, and they have taken over a lot in people's minds and in the press and everything. It's Christiania was Pusher Street, and it's never ever been Pusher Street. So now we want to rearrange people's heads and memories and try to put Christiania on the cultural map. We're going to make a lot of new cultural stuff and theater and art and living art. And we want everybody to come and visit us and participate in making Christiania like it was in the beginning. When we had a theater group called Solvogn, the Sunwagon, and they made lots of nice plays, and there was a lot of things happening that was of cultural value, and people came to see that, and we want that to come back.
Yes, and maybe also that the last years, the way that the house market have taken, the way it has been the last 3, 4, 5 years, we cannot accept it and have it in our society anymore. We have, over the years, we have had the best way to deal with the hash in Christiania. For us, hash is not the problem, it's the money that are in it. It's that it's illegal, that's a problem. So we have struggled with it and have had it in Christiania, but the last years with all the violence and all the fighting and all the gangs, we cannot have it in our society anymore, and that's why we have said that now this chapter is come to an end and a new will start. And as Hulda said, I think that this we will, in some way, we will reboot the workplaces, the culture places, and I think also tourists and Copenhageners and so on will come back, because I think we have seen the last years that there's less and less come and visit our area. Yeah.
We have tried before to get rid of the drug dealers. Why do you think it will work this time?
It will. I'm sure it will work this time. The other times, it was like it wasn't Christiania who was behind it. It was the police or the government, and they tried to put it from up and down onto us. But now it's coming from us and up, and that's gonna work because we don't want it. But that's the first time the whole of Christiania has stood together and taken this decision, because you know, we have what we call a consensus democracy, and a lot of the pushers who live in Christiania also have a say, and they have been a bit hard to work with during the years, because if they sit about 30 pushers and say no, then it's not feasible for us to make a good decision. But they have changed because they can see that this market as it is now It's not for their benefit. They don't like it. It's criminal and it's hard and it's gangsters and it's awful, and we don't want it. And that's from nearly every Christian who says this now, and it's going to work.
We met in August when
Yeah.
you said this
Yeah.
is it.
Yeah.
It has to stop. But how do you think the atmosphere is now, since you had that decision in your community? Is the atmosphere better today than it was a year ago, for instance?
Yeah, it is much better. People are kind of relaxed about it, and we know that we are getting the support we need. So yes, this time we really believe in it. The other times when police have sat us down to a meeting and said, in 2 weeks' time, they will never sell hash in Christiania again. We said, good, great. And 2 weeks after, they were selling full speed again. But now we believe it.
Yes. Yesterday we had a big meeting in the Grey Hall. I think we were around little less than 300 of us that were there, planning the next week what to do. And in this way, you can say that it's coming from the bottom, that we are, police is taking care of the gangsters, but now we are putting the seeds to grow, you can say. So it's because we will not go and push out the gangsters. That's not our job, that's the police job, but we will come with the culture and the workshops and the things afterwards to be strong enough to hold the area free. So that's the difference.
Can you also say something about the agenda on Saturday? At what time will this begin and how many participants do you think will come and help you to deal with this?
Probably a lot of people will come. We think a lot of. It used to be. There were one time when we had the Christiania closed for a week, and it was completely surrounded with fences, yeah, and nobody could come in. And when we opened up, there were about thousands and thousands of people standing outside waiting to come in. I don't know if that many is going to come, but a lot of people are coming. And of course, the Minister of Justice and the Mayor is coming, and other dignitaries, as I call them.
And it's free for us to come and
Yeah, yeah.
At what time is it?
It's open officially at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And the Christiania women guides, what do you call them? Piggarde.
Tattoo.
They're
Going
gonna
tattoo. Yeah.
There's gonna be some shows, yeah, music and stuff, yeah. And then you can all come and have a brosten.
For us, it's important to feel that Christiania is
Cobblestone, yeah.
is in the heart for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, for instance, when we have action days for cleaning up the green areas, a lot of neighbors and Copenhageners and friends are coming, and we hope the same for Saturday, that a lot of people are coming and supporting this big decision about making a new chapter. But I think it will go quite fast to dig away Pusher Street. I think this is a support and the beginning and the thinking about what to put afterwards. That's what starts on Saturday. Yeah.
And I think it's very important to keep Christiania as a village. We are a village in a big town, and as village people, we all know each other, and we want to keep it that way with the bads and the goods, because we have the same as other villages, a bit of gossip, but we know each other and we support each other. So we still want to keep that, and we still want to share it with the rest of the community and Copenhagen and Denmark and whoever wants to come. Yeah.
Can you say something about the house project?
Yeah, my name is Howard Noel. I'm the editor of a newsletter for the all embassies in Copenhagen. I live in Borsmansville, right by the side of it. And when you say you want to go back to Christiania as it was 50 years ago, what have you done in the last 50 years? I go through there on a regular basis. Nothing's happened, apart from the fact that you've let Pusher Street grow and grow until it's become an organised crime. You've done nothing.
You mean done nothing about what?
The crime or what?
You've done nothing about Christiania. It's been there 50 years. What positive things can you say about it?
Oh, you don't think there's any positive thing to say about Christian?
No, not when you go through it. You
Yeah.
It isn't just Pusher Street, it's dominated by Pusher Street. And you've let it become dominated by Pusher Street. Totally dominated. I've been threatened when I go over there.
Yeah,
And when
I
you say
have.
you want it to be a community, nobody from Christianstown wants to go in there because it's rotten. The place is rotten.
Well, that's your statement, but I don't think so. I live there. No, it's not. It's not, because I sit in the local council in Christianstown, and they don't think it's a rotten place. I'm in the local. I'm a member of the local council there, and it's you're allowed to have that opinion, and it's okay. But I don't think it's rotten. There's lots of things happening. Lots of new building. People. We got a children's place. We got the place where you can ride, and you've got a nursery, and we take care of the old people. And I think, am I talking now? Am I talking now, or are you? Yeah, but it's still functioning, and it's still reorganized, and people are taking kids out for ski holidays, and we are taking care of ourselves. And we are doing all the things we do to keep this society. So lots of things happen. You might not see it because you just see what you want to see. No, yes, you can be biased a lot, and you sound biased.
I'm biased.
Yes.
What have you done in the 50 years? What have you done?
Okay, I think we have to move
Yeah,
on to
yeah.
Well, you know what? That's fair enough, but you haven't done it then.
No, but that's your opinion. I can show.
Until now, you want the states to come in and help you.
Oh, that's not true. No.
Clean it up for you.
No, I don't. I'm not agree with you. I think the last 10 years we have done a lot to rebuild a lot of the housing. We have renovated the streets. We have done a lot of things, but it's true that the Pusher Street have taken over. That's true. But I hope you will come back and go to Loppen and go to Grey Hall and go to So
It isn't a nice place.
Exactly.
Because of the organised crime.
Yeah, but that's what we're trying to get. No, we have not let it flourish. We are not. No, we have not.
I think this is a press conference. We need to move on to other questions. A personal debate from a citizen living in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's not.
can be
It's
taken
not.
elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, but I'm talking
Yeah.
to any
I
children.
know,
No.
but this is a
I'm
press
not private
conference.
citizen, I'm talking, and the question hasn't been answered.
No, we don't want to answer it.
No, thank you.
Well, I've got Jan listed here, but also a few people on Zoom has got a question. Yeah, there are many. But I think we've got online from Zoom, we've got the Swiss Broadcasting Corporation. Now I'll take two questions in one, just asking a little bit of the demographics at Christiania. If you could just give, you might not have all the statistics, but just give an idea about who's living there now, what are the numbers, age groups, etc. And then let's take that one first. Then I got another one, and then we'll go back to the.
I can say that we are 770 adults and around 200 kids, and people love to live there. So therefore we are also getting older. And I will say that in the next years, I will say that 25% is over 60 years old. So that's heavy in the elderly end. That is one of the reasons why we want to make new housing, because we need to invite younger people, more families, more people to take care in our society. So that's also one of the strategic reasons why we want to invite 700 new inhabitants to Christiania.
The thing is that when people are not moving out of Christiania, they are sometimes carried out because they die or they move to some kind of care home. And the new in my area, Christiania is divided into 14 areas, and every area has their area meeting once a month, and then the area decides who is going to move in if there's an empty place to live in. And then in our area, it's mostly young people and the kids who comes in, and not elderly people are coming. We need to get younger people in, but as a matter of fact, we also think that it's very nice when it's differentiated. So I live in the same house, which is a big house. It's a wooden building from 1700. Some have been moved from Fredericia, and I live there, and my son and daughter-in-law and my grandkids live underneath, and that's been the same in the other part of the building. So we have more generations living together, and that's really nice we can do that. And other people could do that as well. It was really nice.
Thank you. Then on Zoom we've also got Anne-Françoise, French journalist, and she says, you say you don't want a normalization of Christiania, but what is Christiania today, and what is left from the old days?
For instance, one of the things is that we don't have an ownership to our housing. We have a common ownership, so you don't own the housing. And that's also one of the thing about the workshops and culture places is that it's mostly run by
collectives.
Yeah, collectives and frivillige.
Volunteers.
Yeah, volunteers that have taken care, for instance, the Grey Hall and so on. And I think that's quite important about the culture, you could say, underneath it in Christiania. And that's still there. Yeah.
Hvad var spørgsmålet egentlig?
Yeah.
Ja.
Hvad
var spørgsmålet egentlig?
What is left from the old days?
Yeah. Well, I think that's still left.
The thing is, our consensus democracy and the whole way we organized Christiania is from the old days. We haven't changed that. So the way it was, actually, it was the first Fælles meeting was in '71, and the first time they asked for to pay rent, which we don't pay, we call it something else. But the first was in '73, where they said you have to pay 4 kroner a piece a month. It was to the group of people who removed the garbage. And from that on, it added up that when I moved in, the price was 450 kroner per person to be in Christiania, and that was for garbage removal and stuff like that. Yeah, but we tried to maintain the old ways of doing it. We also have now a fee, we call it a Christiania fee, that every grown person over 18 years pay about 1,800 kroner a month, and then we pay for the amount of square meters we occupy on top of that.
And another thing that are important of this way of maintaining the area have developed over the year. So now we have around 50 people that are employed in our maintaining Christiania, and because we want to do it ourselves, we are running Christiania. That's one of the, can man sige, basically idea about Christiania.
Thank you. More hands. I think we'll go to. We'll try to keep track.
Yeah.
We'll go to Jan first.
Okay. One of the pillars Christiania was built on was free hashish.
No.
Well, to legalize hashish. What's going to happen when the criminal gangs have been rooted out? I mean, will there be any more sale of hashish? And is there any kind of agreement with the authorities that this will not happen?
Well,
as far as I know, hashish is still illegal in Denmark.
I can answer that a bit because I'm the police contact in Christiania. It is, as they say, you can't make Christiania different from any other part of Denmark. There might, of course, be some people selling hash afterwards, but it's not going to be the organized way they're going to sell it now. We can't put our hand on and say nobody will ever stand somewhere or in their flat or anything. We can't promise that. We can promise we're not going to have any of the open market anymore. There's not going to be an open market like there was. And I have to say, and been saying that ever since '91, if somebody wants to remove criminal hash, it's not me as a civil person who's doing it. It's the police matter. It's not my It's not my job. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be a vigilante. It's bad enough you get threatened when you do this work as we do now, but we don't want to actually stand down and try to move some of these very sick persons.
Okay, thank you. I think I've got Olin first and then Anders over here. Olin?
Yeah, hi, I'm for Dutch television. I was wondering if I understand you correctly, you want to attract more young families. Can you tell a little bit about ideas or initiatives that could attract these families to go and live in?
First,
The agreement we made in 1.5 years ago was that we have to build new housing for 300 new people. And this we will organize as collectives. So it could be collectives for youngsters, students, families, and so on. And so over the next year, we have the plans to build, all around in Christiania. It had been very important for us that the new housing will be integrated with Christiania. So the new inhabitants will be a part of the existing community, you could say. But the plan is that to make it all kind of very creative new housing we will build. Yeah.
I just want to say to you, every time there's a place available, there's hundreds of people who wants to move in, and we can only choose one for every vacant apartment. But there are young lot, they want to come and live in Christiania.
So how long is the waiting list?
We haven't got a waiting list. You have to apply every time.
But when you are a free place, we will have around, last time in my area we had around 100 applicants for one place.
Yeah. The same here.
So we don't have a problem to attract people. No.
And then now just you're talking about the housing, there's another question. So maybe just to give a little bit more detail on what is the time frame for the new housing project, if we can call it that, and how is it going to be different from the houses that you see today in Christiania?
The time frame is that we would like to build tomorrow, but the thing is that in compared to how we did 5 years ago, where Hulda and I, we just start to repair our house, then we nowadays, we have to do it more normal. We have to find the financial, we have to make a new local plan, we have to do this and this and this and this. So the time frame is not tomorrow, maybe the first housing will be ready, if we are fast, in 4 years.
And how would the house be different from what we see today?
The house will be different that we have renovated the old houses, and we have built new single housing, but now we'll do housing for maybe 20, 30 people, and that will need a more organization than we did before. So in this way, there will be really a step up. How do we build than we did before?
Make it like a zero kind of like hvad hedder det? CO2 friendly. Yeah. Build with wood or whatever. We try to make it completely eco-friendly.
Thank you.
Can I just ask, so 20, 30 people that are living together?
Yes.
Yes, but yeah.
In different flats, or?
Yeah. In different flats. Yeah.
Thank you. Anders, I think you're next.
I was also a freelance TV producer these days. Just one question. Haven't there been any reaction from the pushers?
Pardon?
The criminals, I mean, the pushers themselves. I mean,
If they have react.
silent.
Yeah.
There must be some kind of reaction from them.
No, yeah, there is some, but the thing is that a lot of the ordinary Christiania pushers, in the old days we tried to kind of talk to them and try to go and meet them and say, come on, you have to behave, you don't have to do violence. If you just behave and try to be nice and whatever. But now they have a lot of them have been arrested. a lot of them are in jail, because, and this is a double zone. They get double straf.
Penalty.
In Christiania, if you get caught, you get double sentence. And some are now away for 8 years. And that means that maybe there's only maybe 10 original Christiania pushers left, and that's not very much. And they know it's a doomed job they have here, and they try to kind of find other ways to live.
So what we see now is not, it's gangsters from whole Copenhagen and the suburbs. So it's not people that we know anymore. And
no.
Yeah.
Because I follow the Hells Angels and bullshit, it's more like organized crime.
It's organized crime. It is organized crime.
Even though they feel they can still do things. I mean, you're not...
They are trying to intimidate us. They are trying to see if they can stay. But we are not going to allow them to stay. And the people they send in, the people who stand now in the street are really not very nice people. And they are the police take them away, arrest them, and then some new comes. And some of them are psychologically not very bright, and they're not nice. The Hells Angels are not standing in the street and selling by themselves. No way. No.
Okay, yeah, I've got 2 more for you now. So we go to Ancho first, and then to Isabel afterwards. But Ancho, yes.
Hi. Yes, I'm from Spain, from Spanish news. It's a question related to what Jan said about the free hash was in the core of Christiania in a way.
Yeah.
I know you're not responsible for what the government does, but what do you feel about people being chased by the police in Christiania and getting, if you get fined twice, you can go to jail? You feel it's the right way when it's being legalized in Germany, but in many countries, in the US, in other countries in Europe, like Spain, Portugal, there's another kind of policy, and Denmark was in the forefront of, I don't know, has been illegal, but still, it was like consent for many years. So do you think Denmark is going the wrong way?
Of course it is. We think it's a horrible law, and why do you have to criminalize about 400,000 Danish people who probably smoke? I do not smoke myself, but I think it's a very stupid law, and we had tried, but we had given up on saying, we want to wait, we want you to legalize, because if you legalize, there's not all these criminal people in Christiania. But since they're not legalizing, since they're going the other way, we have to do it this way to survive. Because it's the worst kind of people who are taking over now, because the law is so strong, so hard. So no ordinary kind of good-thinking person would like to get to jail for 8 years for selling like nothing really. So no, we don't. We also have. We always said we support free hash, but it's not possible.
We have also started up signing up for changing the law, legalize hash. But at the moment, the Danish government is not there, unfortunately. But maybe when the suburbs have seen and feel the change, that now it's not, Christiania don't want it anymore, maybe the suburb will say, we need to legalize it, because they cannot take it when it's all over in Copenhagen. That's also, you could say, a strategy for our opinion. Then we don't want to live with all the damage of wrong hash politics. Yeah.
Thank you. So 2 more in here. We'll go to Isabella first, and then to Jana afterwards. Please.
Hey, I'm Isabel. I'm a journalist at Reuters, and we already touched a bit upon it, but do you have any concerns that the new building projects will challenge this village atmosphere?
We hope not. We hope not, and we're trying to work really hard on it to try to integrate people.
So just to understand it correctly, you guys are the ones who will choose who gets moved in the new buildings? Or?
It's because they're probably going to move in stages, so we get to know them. So it's not like 300 people moving in at one go. That's not feasible. But one house is finished, and then people move in, and then we get to know them, and then another house, and then we can integrate them like that.
Okay, but so it's you guys who are gonna accept people and allow them to move in, or who makes the final call?
We haven't agreed with the municipality about the rules about new inhabitants. But the thing is that we want to organize this as every house is a community, you could say. So you have to apply for moving in this community. So it's not the whole Christiania that will decide who will move in, but you have to be a part of the small community, you can say. But this we are still negotiating with the municipality about. But I think that the most important thing for us is that the new housing is integrated in Christiania. Yeah. That another way will be a disaster for us. That if you had a small part of
strangers
that will not take part, because to run the society Christiania, you have to be taking active part of it, of the consensus democracy, of the daily life and so on. So that's why the new inhabitants are very important, that they want to be a part of Christiania. But of course we are aware of the danger that could come if it doesn't succeed. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, so many people already been writing to us and saying, when can I come on a waiting list to move into these new houses? And we really love Christiania, and how do we do it? So I don't think we have any shortage. Also, we have said to the people in Christiania who might not live in very good conditions, because they can also get a nice place to live if they want to move in there. They are also able to move into these places. And so we're going to hope everybody's going to be nice and fine.
Thank you. We just got a few minutes left, so I'll just do a last call out to the people on Zoom to try to, in the chat, write in a last question if we can make it. Otherwise, I've got Janne.
Yeah, I want to continue a bit what Anders said, because what's the situation now? Have you been able to push the pushers out? Or
no.
They're still there now?
Yeah, I went through this morning. There's lots of them.
They're still
yeah.
There, because I saw you already started digging out the street a bit.
Oh no, that's another project we are doing.
Okay,
yeah,
that was fake news.
yeah.
Because I know.
We are waiting for the police.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know Christiania has been taking a bit of this responsibility as well, because every time the push street is locked for a longer time, the problem with pushes spreads out into the city. And I'm thinking that it's still, due to some estimates, about up to 1 billion kronor illegal money every year. So this is going to spread somewhere if it's not in Christiania. It's not your problem, obviously not. But it's hard to see that it's not going to be a problem for the society.
But I do want to emphasize that we have never taken money from the pushers. They never put money in our economy. No, but they pay their rent if they live there, but that's it. They don't even pay for the electricity they use. So, yeah.
So no, the question is that it will not just disappear. The hash market. The hash market will go to the other areas in Copenhagen, or maybe on social media. That's what the police is expecting, that they see more and more by Instagram, Snapchat. I don't know, but like to do when you, for instance, buy Coke or other things. So but that's what the police expect.
The police have tried for the last 3 months to make what they call kind of closing down, where they are in the street for like 24 hours, 3 days. And they have discovered that there's no increase in sale around. There's no people standing on the corners or on the anywhere in Christiantown anyway. There are not any other. So they're a bit surprised about that.
Yeah. Well,
okay, I think it's coming up to 1:30. I think we've got 2 more questions. Just a brief question from you, Oline. Did you indicate?
Yeah, I was just wanted to follow up on the new inhabitants inhabitants and the integration, what would you say? You say they have to, take active part in the Christiania soul, I guess, and it's not for everybody. But can you name a few examples of what these inhabitants have to be ready to do?
For instance, we have a lot of nice culture places where Grey Hall, Loppen, Opera, and maybe some of the volunteers that are there, they would like to live there, so there could be more culture, new workshops opening, taking part of maintaining the area, blah blah, things like this. So you could say, that's like the questions in the beginning, what kind of Christiania do we want to see in the future? Yes, that's what we are building up with some of the new inhabitants.
But it's also, we like to say to people, if you're bored in your life outside, you could move to Christiania, because there's also always a meeting you can go to. Because we are doing the same as our Rådhus, the town halls. We are taking care of everything. We are taking care of money. Our economy is about 40 million a year to pay out to what we have bought Christiania. We have to pay the loans. We have to pay for electricity and water, and then we are all doing this voluntarily. So there are lots of meetings we go to. Sometimes there's 5 meetings in a week, evening meetings, and then there's all those during the day. So you know what to do if you live in Christiania.
Thank you. I think Hulda and Mette, on behalf of all of us, thanks for coming around.
Yes.
Today.
Hope to see you on Saturday and the future.
From here, I've got one question left, just a quick one. That
Okay.
was from the Swedish news agency online asking, is Pusher Street going to have a new name?
Maybe.
Maybe.
It's because some people are really like, oh, it's a historical name, let's keep it. And others, like me, say, no, we need a new name. But this is up for discussion. And we have this consensus democracy, so it can take a long time to find a solution.
Culture Street, Future Street.
I said something about Algade, which you have in every little provincial town in Copenhagen, or in the country.
Okay, I guess that's one to follow.
Yeah.
But at least for now, for everybody here and the people online, thanks a lot.